What is up, everyone? Dividend Grinder here, looking at the daily dividend portfolio. But I must say, 5 minutes ago, just before recording this video, any NBA fans out there, holy crap, LeBron James signs with the Lakers. I saw that, just blew my mind. Here in Pennsylvania, I was holding out, a slight glimmer of hope that he would go to the Sixers. I'm not a Sixers fan, but it would have been cool to see him in Pennsylvania. But LA, that is absolutely crazy. All right, so to this video. So 3 full months have gone by the daily dividend portfolio. What is going on? How has it been performing? Well, look at that. A gain of $203, 7.83% return. Absolutely awesome. The whole goal was about 4 to 6% in that area. So anything above that is absolutely exceeding expectations. At one point, it was up 9 to 10%. The market has corrected a little bit since then. And I know it's going to go lower than this at some point, and eventually it'll probably go back to negative. $203 of that, $62 have been dividends. That is awesome. So the dividends, even if something were to happen to the market where my holdings kind of take a little nosedive, it's comforting to know that the earned dividends will cushion the blow quite considerably. That is the whole point. For those of you who are new to this entire portfolio, I currently have, if we go into the holdings here, 27 holdings, 26 of which are monthly dividend payers. So it used to be over 30 monthly dividend payers, so it would be a true quote-unquote dividend per day, just because there was more monthly dividend payers than there were days of the month. So it's quite debatable whether you want to call this a daily dividend portfolio. I still do, because there's less than 26 actual days where you could receive a dividend. So, obviously weekdays and not weekends, because you can't receive any money on weekends from dividends. That's just how the market works. So I still consider it a daily dividend portfolio. Plus, what other portfolio out there, I've never seen one, correct me if I'm wrong, has this many monthly dividend payers in it? And what is, the entire portfolio is essentially made of monthly dividend portfolio. If you're new, you'll know that my only non-dividend paying one is Amazon, just because I believe I'd be crazy not to hold Amazon in some way, shape, or form. As you can see, it's not very big at all. 0.033 shares of Amazon. However, I just want some exposure to Amazon. I didn't have it in this portfolio or my emergency fund that I built up on E-Trade. I just wanted some exposure to Amazon in some way. They're destined to do even bigger things than what they're doing now, and I just wanted some exposure to them. So I put in $5,499. Where did this start? This portfolio, if we go into the activity and we load more all the way to the beginning, this portfolio, you see a lot of action has happened. Started with only $350, and at the time, that was a pretty good chunk of change for me. I'm not gonna lie. A lot has changed in the past 6 months. Now I'm definitely not like rich. I didn't strike anything, like a big pot of gold, or I haven't won at the casino big or anything. It's just at the time where my portfolio was. At the time where my bank account was. Just after the Christmas holidays. Tax return hasn't come in yet. 350 was a decent chunk of change for this experiment. But things have changed, like I said. I'm going to start a whole new, essentially, career later this month. I think I'm going to be able to fund this even more aggressively than what I have been. So the portfolio started out at, I believe, 33 monthly holdings. It has gone down to 26 monthly holdings, plus Amazon. Excuse me as I drink some water. So as you can see by this amount of activity, so much has happened. And I got to be honest, the initial funding of the portfolio, as we go into this and we look at the 40 buy. Okay, wow, it was 40 buys. So, and I believe all 40 were monthly dividend payers, but I gotta be honest, looking back, probably about 18 to 20 of these buys were just straight trash. Like, I was just looking to fill the portfolio with anything monthly that I could get my hands on, essentially trying to compound it as fast as possible, get as many dividend payments as possible. But I learned my lesson. And the first 2 months, the portfolio was honestly in the red. Um, Even with the dividends coming in, the market gains were negative, so I wasn't seeing any positive cash flow at all into the portfolio. So I got rid of a ton of these. Plus, with the initial funding of 350, if you're spreading it across 40, you can see a lot of these only got $7 to it, not even, full shares, except for the ones that are really junky, under like $3 a share. Not much was happening in terms of, the dividend pace and how fast they were coming in. You still need to get above that $10 threshold to get it reimbursed. I'm sorry, to get it reallocated. I'm tongue-tied. Wow, I'm really tongue-tied today. So a lot has changed. You can see I sold off a lot of positions since this initial 40 buys. I'm looking at this right now, and I can just tell, like, all of these that I've gotten rid of. And it's all a learning experience. I went from having the portfolio in the red to growing it massively to a 5,600 portfolio. That is a 7% plus gainer. The big investment that made this pretty much turn around for the better was this one right here on the May 7th. I put in a whopping $2,000. It was a combination of tax return. I believe I got like some other form of money it came in. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I could just fund this portfolio. I believe I was like, okay, I'm taking this for real. So if we open that one, you can see I sold off another one that wasn't doing so hot. And I completely, put a jump start into this portfolio with 2K. A lot of positions finally got boosted. I was finally getting respectable dividends coming in after this purchase. And June and what's going to be July, it's only July 1st today, dividends are going to be, very, very much nicer because of this. If you look at one of my last videos, I calculated how much I'm getting per month since M1 doesn't really have any direct versions of that. $28 a month in dividends. And considering that this portfolio is still very, very small and I have bigger plans for it, $28 a month in dividends, I could let it sit and it's still going to auto allocate twice in a month. So that's awesome. That's what I wanted to do. I just want this to keep feeding and feeding. Eventually, the long-term goal for this portfolio is my early retirement. So let's kind of get into it. Well, first of all, let me just show you that the portfolio, if I can remember where to go here. So go to My Pies. So the average dividend yield of this portfolio is 7.2%. Considering they're all monthly holdings, I don't believe that's too inflated of a number. A 0.48% expense ratio. It's a little high, but then again, considering that it's all monthly holdings, it's really not too bad. There's a couple that I'm considering selling off again and making it the expense ratio a little lower and even the dividend yield a little higher. But that's where it sits right now, a 7.2% yield just on the dividends alone. That is awesome. So, like I said, this portfolio is for early retirement, right? So, being candid, I am 27 years old. And with this new career change coming up, I will get paid a little bit better. And I think that I can be a little more aggressive with this portfolio because I want it to grow as fast as possible. So I have goals of about $600 a month funding this. Since I do get paid bi-weekly, I'm hoping I can take $300 out each paycheck and put it into this account without it harming me too much in my bank account. So let's just take a look at this for a second. Excuse me, I really need water. I'm sorry, I'm dying. My throat is drying up. Okay. $600 a month, right? That's where I'm funding it. So if we do that times 12, so it would be $7,200 into the portfolio every single year. Well, I'm 27 right now. So if we just do that for 13 years, when I'm 40 years old, so if we do this times 13 years, I'm going to put $93,600 into the portfolio, essentially making it a $100,000 portfolio. But we'll look at this 93.6 right now. let's say all things remain equal, which I know won't happen, but for the purpose of this, we'll say all things remain equal. 93,600, the average dividend yield, so we'll multiply it by that. So 93,600 times 0.0727 for 7.27%. $6,804 in dividends per the year. If we divide that by 12, $567 in dividends every single month. That is awesome. That would be by age 40. Given all things equal, that I can contribute to the portfolio $600 every single month. I mean, $500 a month in dividends, very respectable. And if I got that by age 40, that would be amazing. And then you got to consider funding it along the way. Everything's going to compound that much faster. This is just if I'm not including any compounding in this equation. This is just I'm funding straight up 93 grand over 13 years. And if you never had a portfolio before and you just started it when you had the 93 grand, this is what I would get on a monthly basis given the dividend yield. So I'm not including any compounding here. It's going to grow way quicker than that. And the dividends are going to be way higher than $560. It'd probably be closer to $600 to $700 a month, which is absolutely amazing. So that is the long-term goal of this portfolio. I'm going to try my very best to put in $600 a month. It might be a little difficult given I have a wedding and a honeymoon coming up the following year. So who knows if my financials are going to have to take a little break, a little pump on the gas. The bachelor party is going to be in Las Vegas. Never know how that's going to turn out. Never know down the line if I'm going to have kids. Also a big financial moment. So this is my goal, $600 a month. I think it is definitely doable. I might fund it even more aggressive now that I'm still, young. I have the ability to kind of push myself and recover if something bad were to happen. I would just take a break from funding the portfolio and let my account build up if something were to happen. But that's kind of the point of having the emergency fund in my E-Trade portfolio, and having that as a nice little security blanket. I can kind of go aggressive, and if something bad were to happen, I can always dip into that if worst case comes to worst. So I hope you enjoyed this video, just showing you where the portfolio is at after 3 full months using M1 Finance. I'll leave you with this. So I'll go to the holdings and I'll zoom in a little, and I will just scroll down slowly so you can see all the holdings. GOF 10%, Apple, APLE 8%, GOOD 8%, STAG 6%, DIA 6%, GLAD 5%, O 5%, GGM 5%, SMHD, which is a 2 times leverage fund, which is amazingly doing well, 4%, PGX 4%, GAIN 4%, CLDT 3.1%, which is 3%, Main Street Capital 3%, Global Dividend DIV 3%, HYT 3%, HYD 2%, FTSL 2%, PPT 2%, ETV 2%, WSR 2%, JNK 2%, LTC 2%, PSF 2%, LOR 2%, which is, and this might be the one that I'm looking to sell off, LOR 2%, EPR 2%, PCN 2%, and Amazon, the only non-monthly dividend payer, not even a dividend payer period, 1% of the portfolio. This has been a 3-month checkup on the portfolio, giving you the plans for the future, the hopeful plans. Who knows, maybe I'll put even more in the short term just to get this thing rolling even quicker. I might set it up to automatic payments, but I got to see with the new career what the pay cycle is and when I could set it up successfully. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to M1 Finance or you're looking to sign up yourself, I will leave a referral link in the description down below. And if you sign up using my referral link and you fund your account, you will get $10. I will get $10 in your M1 Finance portfolio. and you can begin investing with a little boost in your account. This has been the Dividend Grinder. LeBron James to the Lakers, holy crap. I will see you guys in the next video.